Alright, lads and lasses, welcome along. Dataset 9, week 4. Our final chance to have a look and see what's going on in New York with its taxis. I mean, when I started this out, I said, we're going to have 100 million rows of data just to show people, Power BI can cope. 100 million rows, it's no, man, not a problem, right? 200 million rows, no, man, not really a problem, right? In the course of this, we've got about 325 million rows of data. I mean, practically for me, the biggest that I've really worked through, like with finance data sets, we were going through building in the granularity with there. We were looking at 60 to 100 million rows of data, really. Once you get up beyond 100 million, you're starting to, you're in really transactional information that's going on, just like New York taxi data. But again, we're saying 325 million rows of data. And I think from memory, it's like, well, we'll see, won't we? Hey? So let's, get through what's been going on, see where we are. So if you remember, week 1, we went through, we built the data flows. Week 2, we started to put that together into Power BI files so it could actually start to be used. We built the shape file. We've now combined it all, so it's there. We looked into it in Power BI, and we actually saw how you can use Power BI, or how Power BI, it leads you to start to question the data more. So you're starting to actually look and see, what's the next thing that I need to be doing with this data? And that's good. That's a really important thing to understand, that there isn't really an end point with Power BI. It's going to keep going on. It's going to keep driving more. And off the back of that, we had a look and we thought, do you know what? We need to get more data. We need a lot more. More data. Give us more data. So we went away, had a look. Okay. So what I wanted to have a look at today was, we've got in the new long-term trends. We've got 3.5 years, which gives us 3 proper years of data. Obviously, 2020, it's not a proper year of data. It's kind of like, it's an exceptional year of data. It's gold dust, but it's no good for that, right? And then we're going to look at the Power BI service, right? In terms of what do we do? What's the best way to do with putting our stuff up in the service? Yeah? Make more sense. We get on the demo of it, yeah? First off, right, I had an absolute nightmare this week, right? I'm reshooting this video. It's due to go out tomorrow. The audio has been terrible, right? I've had to shuffle the desk around, moving things around to get it out to work, right? And I've had to put more foam in to just really deaden the sound. Now looks like this, right? Brilliant, I think. Yeah, I like it. I hope you like it. I hope you find that the sound is a lot better. If it's not, well, get a better computer as well. I'm out of ideas, is all I can say. So, we're 325 million row data set, right? 325 million taxi journeys in New York. That's amazing. And the sheer number of journeys, I think, that's one that you just can. I get, you don't think, do you? You kind of think, wait, maybe a couple of thousand taxi journeys a day, it's kind of there. There's a lot more. And obviously we're just looking at yellow taxis and they're being attacked slightly, maybe, is that the right word? Other stuff's going through, the subways are being renovated in New York. So are people using the subways? Is that, all this was what we want to have a trend for. So tell you what, how about we get rid of me face, right? Get rid of this ugly thing. Let's crack on our Power BI desktop and let us see what's happening. See what the data looks like, yeah? Champion. Here we are then, Well, Power BI desktop report pack that we've got for this. Look at them numbers at the top. That's the thing. I think you just need to be aware of that, don't you? Check these numbers out. 325 million, 324.8, come on. 325 million taxi journeys. 500 million passengers. That's 500 million passengers. Total fare revenue, $5.5 billion. And as we said before, as we call it, the fares or the tips, it's 11.3%. But then if we have a look at it from April, it just goes off a cliff, drops down to 8.4%. So something definitely is going on there. To get into that, we're going to start looking more at what's going on with pick up and drop off points. Okay, and that's possible now with this data set. What we've got with this big long data set though is we've now got the capability of actually looking and seeing year over year what is actually happening with our data. So year over year we can look and we can see 2017, 2018, 2019, obviously 2020 we're going to ignore, right? There's a consistent drop. So taxi fare or taxi ridership is dropping. You know, you could look at it as, is there something else going on with the taxi market? We know there's some disruptors in the taxi market. There's other things as well. So I don't really want to go and put anything on it because I don't know. But again, this is classic. This is the sort of thing that you want to be able to see in Power BI. And chances are, if I'd been doing New York taxi data and was working for the New York Taxi or Transit Authority, would be able to actually look and see exactly what is happening overall. Because it's too simple to just say, oh, taxi ridership's gone down, it must be Uber, it must be subways that are changing, it must be something else. It could be less people are actually working. So how many people do we know who are coming in and working in the city of Manhattan, for example, or in other parts? Things like that are part of it as well. So there's a big chunk of work will be needed. But what we can really see is that it's actually dropping consistently. And we can check and see, well, if we look at evenings, it's a consistent drop. If we look at afternoons, it's less consistent, isn't it? You know, we've got 17 and 18, which are looking very similar for a lot of the year, just drifting off towards interesting there, isn't it? You know, heading off as it gets colder, taxi fare ridership is increasing maybe in 2017, but they're diverging again. So there's some interesting patterns in the data that you can see. And we're able to quite quickly and easily click between these and see exactly what is going on in terms of an annual trend, in terms of anything that we would find within it. Morning rush, see, even there, it's all dropped off. And remember, once again, 300 odd million rows of data this. It's not slow. You know, I don't think anyone's going to turn around and go, oh, well, I've clicked on that. It's taken a long time to happen. The nice thing with this, I tested it. So I actually installed Power BI desktop on my son's laptop that he uses for school, opened it up, was able to use this Power BI desktop file quite happily, run it through, right? I probably wouldn't advise trying to build this file, like do the combination and build the 300 million row data set in it. That is quite resource intensive. So I did use my desktop for that I'm using for this video now. As you can imagine, it's a video capture rig. It does a lot. So it's got some horsepower behind it. Once that file was built, I had no problem with it. You're going to ask the question, aren't you? Oh, why are you using a file lake? What's your problem? Why aren't you using Power BI service? Wait, the challenge with this is it's too big. So for a normal Power BI Pro subscription, you can only have a data set that's up to 1 gigabyte. This is 2.5. Considering what we've got in it, it's a lot, right? But I did have a look, and I'm pretty sure by looking at the Vertipack file for it, and again, we need to get comfortable with looking at Vertipack files. If we look at the data size for the columns, we can see the big column size, the big issue columns, as it were, right? So when I originally sketched out what I was going to do with this video set, a big part of what we were going to do was show you the impact of splitting out the locations for the drop off and pickup. So it's deliberately inefficient. I wanted it to be inefficient so I could show you the benefit of it. That changed when we looked at, I want to have more years of data in there. So I haven't done that within this data set or within this series. So at some point I will have a look and see what happens with the data. How far can we drop this back down? And I think that'll be a really nice piece of work to do. Again, the only issue with it is it's going to be, it'll tie my computer up, probably even the big beast, for a couple of hours as it just goes through. But you can see we've got big amounts there. If we zoom in a bit, you can see the zones. So all we really need is the zone ID or the DO location ID, and we've got the PO or the PU location ID. So we've got these ones here, and then don't forget we've got these ones here. So if we're looking at those, there's a big chunk of time we can do there. The other ones we've got is the actual time. Now the time in these, it's all going down to the second. So again, it could be changed. What I would probably look to do would be to change it to be actually the time of day. So that we've gone with, So if you remember, we've gone with like, is it early morning? Is it the morning rush hour? Is it stuff like that? And actually just put those in so that you've only got 8 values in each of those. So it's there. And then look to get rid of as well the fields that we just aren't using. Tax. We're not using tax at the moment in this. It's not a huge file or a huge column, but it, once you're getting down to try and say, well, I need to take 2/3 of the file size out of this and keep all the row counts, everything that you're not using, you want to be able to get rid of. And this is probably the first time that many of you will have seen the Vertipack analyzer used in this way. So actually starting to look at a Vertipack file, seeing the expensive columns, as it were, so the columns that are taking up the most space. And we can see from here, the columns that are taking up the most space. If we actually, let's go back to out of here, that was gone out of the column, to the columns, and then we can pick data size, and we can see trip distance is actually our highest column. So that's one of the things I would try and maybe look to see if we can fix distance, because I think there's issues with distance. I'd probably look to normalize that. I think when I was looking at it, in fact, we can have a look at it over in Power BI Desktop and have a look at distance. We've got minus numbers in there. So I don't think they can be right. So if they're not right, the next step's going to be, isn't it, just normalizing those values out. So we've got minus numbers, and I think we've also got some very high numbers. If we sorted that descending, we can see, if we zoom in on that again, that's too high. If that's, I think what we're seeing is that the data needs some work, right? But it's all possible to do that. One of the ideas I had was to actually take the pickup IDs and the pickup location ID and the drop-off location ID and average the trip distances for those, and then basically use that to calculate what the actual trip distance would be to do your total distance traveled. And it's this inaccuracy in this column, which is why I haven't got a trip distance measure really written. Well, there is one written, but I'm not using it anyway. Again, these are things that you uncover and you then need to go and do some more work and look into further. So that's what Dataset. So what do you reckon? Do you reckon it's worth having a look at it? My advice would definitely be, if you're not sure of anything, it's going to be build this data set. Have a look at it and understand that you can really do it. Don't do it in data flows if you don't need to. You can set a file, a folder up on your computer, pull all the spreadsheets in together from there, right? And process them all through and be quite happy to let your computer just process through and chug away, and it'll build a data model for you. And then there you can start to have a look at it, and you can then test and start to see the benefits, or actually how you can really use the tools of Power BI and see how DAX starts to actually be performant, especially when you understand that it needs to go at a columnar basis, or columns. 325 million rows of data, as we say. If we can back out of here, I do love this screen here, that we can see exactly what's going on. There's a lot there. What I did find out when we were having a look at the fares in 2020, that actually, if we looked at pickups from Staten Island, we could actually see the numbers actually increased. Looks like the Staten Island ferry has been affected, or people just aren't traveling by it, or they don't want to. One of the two, right? And people are then having to take taxis. We can see things like that are already visible in the data set. And then you'd be able to see the corresponding journeys. If you look at destinations of Staten Island, you can see they're picking up. And a lot more people are coming back in the early morning. Oh, that's interesting, coming back in the early morning. People coming to Staten Island. So that's interesting. There's a lot of people coming into Staten Island. I'd expect to see that in the evening. So we've got lots going out in the mornings and lots coming back in the mornings. So that is definitely, there's something very interesting in there, and I would like to do that next level down. And that's then where your timings, potentially we want to look at what we do with our times. It might be sensible to go and put it to an hour, the nearest hour for those times. But, you can see Power BI is going to give us that continuous growth area. And wow, look at them tip percentages, 1.7%. Something odd's going on there, like, isn't it? Hey, I love Power BI when you get to this point and you start to just see little bits more in the data that, hang on, that doesn't look right. Wait, what? That's what you want to see. This is where the value of Power BI starts to appear. So I'd say build a data set, have a look at it. Sure, you'll have a lot of fun with it. Is that the, oh, there's a spike there, isn't there? Sorry, I was thinking about John Wick again. Maybe John Wick lives in Staten Island. Anyway, got that? Excellent. Champion. So what do you reckon, 325 million rows of data. I mean, I actually really enjoyed doing that. That was just started something silly to do, and yeah, it was always silly, wasn't it? But I think it's given us a lot of information and lots of questions that we can keep asking and finding out with the data. Hey, New York Taxi Authority, if you want to come contact us, yeah, Geordie Intelligence, I'm your man. Right? So demo 9, the next thing we want to do, yeah, is we're looking to start publishing this stuff up. So obviously not the big file, the littler file. When you come to publish it, there's a couple of things that you'll need to do, or that it's sensible to be able to do. So one thing that Power BI has is data models and reports, right? Now, Power BI Desktop, unfortunately, combines the two together, right? And there was another Microsoft product like that years ago that some people might know called Access, right? And by default, Access you had everything in one file. You could then split the file. You'd have your data model and your reports or your access layer to it, right, as a separate file. If you do the same with Power BI, you can then start to take these reports and plug many of them into the same data model. And then you get the very simple or the very easy to understand and structured view of having, I've got a data model that no one's going to touch, and I've got reports that anyone can edit, anyone can do stuff with, because I don't care, right? And that's the best way to be. And I say I don't care. It's not quite true, right? You're still going to have your reports that you're going to be like, these are the golden ones you don't touch, right? And those golden ones you don't touch, right, will be owned by someone. So someone's going to have an owner, be the owner of it. Steve, Jeff, Miranda. What you're going to do is you're going to be able to say, we've got the data set that's going to be controlled, owned by somebody, and we can start to put principles of management onto that. So I want to change something. I want to have an additional dimension added. We want to understand, for example, New York Taxi, what's going on with Uber? Can we get the Uber data? Can we get subway ridership data? Can we get, all these things that people might want to ask? We can fold those into your data model. And this is where it's really, this really is one of the big strengths of Power BI, is that you can actually expand your data model. But to start doing that, we need to take the model that someone's put together. So Steve, hello, it's Steve here. I've built this report on New York taxis. It's dead good. Right? And someone's seen it, shown it to the senior manager. Who's going, oh, report on New York taxi data. Just what I was looking for. Everyone must use this report now. Bring it in. Right? And suddenly, everyone's gone to Steve. Steve, I need you to do Steve. And Steve's going, oh, I can't go. Right? Which happens, right? This really happens. Okay? I'm exaggerating, but it's all still true. Okay? What we can do, if we split it, we can then start to triage those requests, because you then have, Steve, I need to be able to see the breakdown. Can you put in whether it was green or yellow or Uber, right, in the taxis? Because we are capturing that on the main one. We've got whether it's green or yellow. So I'd want to be able to split those two off. So I can say, green taxi doing this, yellow taxi doing that. That might already be in the data. So that'd be something that Steve at a report level would just need to surface. You might say, Steve, I need to see the Uber stuff. And he's going, I don't have Uber stuff, man. He's changed accents, he's chilled out a bit now, I don't know. Like, I don't have the Uber stuff. No one's giving it to me. That's more like it, isn't it? So he goes and does his thing. And someone's, well, where's the Uber stuff? Suddenly that becomes that piece of work. Someone has to identify the Uber stuff. Someone that has to make sure they can bring it in, and then it can be processed. And then once it's brought in and processed, it can be dovetailed into your data model. Steve might not want to do all that, right? And that's where you can start to really triage those requests and start to separate them out. So it's big benefit, okay? What you start to get into is these ideas of continual improvement cycles. So you'll continually improve the data model, you'll continually improve reports. The two can be done separately now though, okay? Very good. So what we want to do is figure out how on earth do I split this big file that I've got, bearing in mind this one, about a gigabyte, right? How do I split it so that I can use it for this and for that? And it's not difficult. You make a copy, give it a different name because it's going to be kind of data set only, remove all the report pages, publish it. That's all you have to do, right? Go back to the original file, right? Delete all your data out of it, and then you can connect to the Power BI, and ta-da! It works, right? It's simple, man. End of the day, right? In fact, you don't need a demo, do you? You can just do it. Nah, I won't let you down like that, man. So, tell you what, get me face again, yeah? Get rid of this ugly thing, right? And we'll crack on our back in the Power BI desktop. Have a look at these two files side by side. All right, so here we are, having a look at this. It's pretty simple, isn't it? Got our here, zooming a bit on this side, got the dataset file. So we're going to convert this one into a dataset, right? On the other side, see, we've named it dataset. So NYC dataset. This side, NYC taxis. This is going to be our report. So right now, at this point in time, right, so here's the folder. You can see, we zoom in, dataset, taxis, right? And you see they're both the same size. Hi. They're both this one, just under a gigabyte. Okay. Now, what do we need to do to split the dataset? If you remember, I said we need to take copies of them. So I've got these copies side by side, right? This one, which we're going to make into the dataset, we've got to remove all the report pages from it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll just scan through and delete all these pages. Unfortunately, there's no quick way around it. Just got to scan each page, click, delete, confirm, click, delete, confirm. So I'll scan through and I'll do that now. All right, so we've done that. You've got to keep a page. So what I've done is I've just put all the measures onto that page, right? So we can have a look and we can see it's there. I've just put copies of all the measures on there just so we can see it. So if anyone ever came to that page, it makes sense, right? Now I've done that, all I need to do is publish it. So scan our, hit publish. It's going to ask me to save it. We'll save it and we'll publish it. We're publishing it, dataset 9, NYC taxis, hit select, and it's now going to publish it up. All right, so it's published. We can see, successfully published that up. And we can see from the Power BI service page here that we've got a nice little icon there. It's got little 3 lines, so we know it's just been published up. So it's there. We've now got our dataset published up. I did mention that you have to have a report page, and you can see again, we've got the same there. 3 little lines there. You're stuck with it. There's not a way around it. If we click into it, you can see I've just got the measures that I told you I'd put on the top there, just to make it nice and easy so that there was a page there. If we go back to it though, simple. Untick it, right? Hide it from the report view. Dead simple. Okay, so we've published up our data set. The next thing I said we'd need to do was to publish up our report. So that's the other side, isn't it? This one. So what we've got to do is get rid of all the data associated with this report. And that's not too bad, right? It's actually pretty simple to do. What we're going to do is we're going to go in and transform the data. So go in, hit transform data, right? And I apologize, this will bring it up full screen. Shift select to pick all the tables that you've got there, right? Right click, delete. Jobs are good now. That's those data tables gone. Next thing we need to do, close and apply that, right? And you'll see my report's gone a little bit screwy, okay? If you've still got something on the right-hand side, which we have, and this is something that we wrote in as a calculation group, so in Tabular Editor, you might have calculated tables, anything else that you've got that isn't part of the main data model, that's fine. All you've got to do is scan through, for any of them, right-click on them, delete them. And don't worry at this point that you're doing that, right? It's really easy to say, oh, this doesn't feel right. Oh, he's ruining my life, man. It's all going to go wrong. You've just got to clear out the data model so it's ready to accept a new data model. And the new data model we want to accept is, of course, the one that we've just published up, which is the same one that we've just deleted. Oh, it's like Inception all over again, isn't it? So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to say to click a Power BI dataset, right? This one here. Let's click it, right? See what comes up. We get one little box in, right? We're going to pick 009 So we've gone to dataset 9, got this New York dataset that's just published up. I'm going to click on it, choose to create. It's going to connect the report pack to it, and all of a sudden, all our data comes back. What you'll notice now, though, is I can't transform the data, right? I can't go in and look at the actual data table in terms of editing the data tables. I can't browse the data tables. This is now a connected report. And if I hit publish from here and publish it, save it and publish it to 009 again, the workspaces, hit select, takes seconds to publish. And you will have seen it appear down here. So there it is. So that's it, published, done. It's now, this is just a report file that we've got here, and this is a dataset file. So we can now have different improvement plans for each one. And having that capability is going to make your life much, much easier. So don't be a Steve being lambasted and bombarded by people saying like, "Oh, Steve, I need to be a, oh, Steve, oh, Steve," right? And honestly, for any of the analysts out there, I'm sure you've all been a Steve, yeah? And you're probably sitting there going like, "I'm Steve, that's me, he's talking to me," right? I've been there too, mate, right? And the nice thing about doing this, once you split that, you can give people the ability to create their own reports. So when they come and you're going, "Steve, I need a report that says," you can say, "Oh, here's Power BI Desktop, off you can, fill your boots, build a report that does what you want." They can do it. They can connect a new Power BI Desktop file, just like you've done here, connect to a Power BI data set, pick this report pack, build a report. If it's a good report, you can give them rights to publish back, or Steve can keep that ownership of that rights to publish to that location, but they can publish it to their own workspace and they can keep an eye on it and see it to their heart's content. Best thing of all, everyone is using the same data model. So there's no difference that you're going to get like, Steve's going to come up and say, "My number says we've made $15 million last week." And then Fred is going to come, "No, my report says you've only made 5 million. Right? What have we done? If everyone's using the same data model, we can go back and we can piece together what's happened and how you've got the two different numbers. Or more likely than not, you actually find out, all right, someone's decided to filter something, or it's just looking at one day of the week, right? All these are the things that actually happen. Getting everyone to a consistent set of numbers makes all the difference to everything, right? So this one step is well worth learning. So what do you reckon? Dataset 9, hey? It's been a fun one, hasn't it? I mean, it's not every day we're building like a 300 million row data set, I have to say. I've enjoyed it. I've really liked it. There's a lot more I would have liked to have been able to do with this. And to be honest with you, I think looking at the way things have progressed across the channel, expect to see announcements about changes to it coming soon. The channel's going really well. It is developing the way I wanted it to develop. I'm not concerned by anything I'm seeing. Be great to get some more subscribers in. It'd be great to get more of you in. So don't forget, like and subscribe down below. And we're going to keep going on with this. We're going to be doing a lot more videos in the coming weeks, though. A lot shorter ones, punchier ones dealing with specific things. What I've done is I've given you a nice library of data now that you can go through, explore yourself, and expand and do more on, right? And what we now need to do is start just honing in your skills. So starting to just give you the tools so you can kind of like, oh, this is how I do this. Oh, this is how I do that, right? But, now you can see how Geordie Intelligence, he might know what he's talking about, like, I mean, 300 million row data set, he's just whacked that in off the interweb. Dead easy, right? We're going to be doing some more courses as well. So we've got our food hygiene course, which is... It's not what you're thinking. If you're thinking, "Oh, I'm going to go and do that food hygiene course. I want to work in a cafe or a restaurant." Yeah, no, not that kind of food hygiene, mate. Right? We'll get that all built, get that all sorted out. Experimenting with Power BI and the web, so I might put in like a food hygiene report. You might, be on the lookout for that coming in. Food hygiene. Ooh, what's that? It'd be nice to be able to do that. I was thinking that'd be a nice one to do. But, as always, keep liking, keep subscribing, put your comments in, give us some feedback, tell us what's working for you, what isn't working for you. You're going, oh, I didn't like this northern people up here. What's northern people? People from the north, isn't it? It's all been going on. We've got lots happening. There's always going to be more coming. And all I can say to you now is have a great weekend, right? Take care of yourselves. Take care of everyone else around you, right? Ta-da.